Good morning. The House Committee on Education will come to order. Clerk shall take the roll. Clerk shall close the roll. First, we will go to our Higher Education Subcommittee report for what we believe to be our final education meeting of this session. We will ask Chair Sewell for her report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First up, we have Senate Bill 97. Senate Bill 97 is patroned by Senator Rome. This bill renames the Hunger-Free Campus Food Pantry Grant Program the Hungry-Free Campus Grant Program. The bill also requires grant award pursuant to the program to be used to support on-campus efforts and initiatives to eliminate student food insecurity at such institutions throughout the maintenance and operations of both its food pantry pursuant to current law and its student meal credit sharing program. The subcommittee recommends reporting and referring to appropriations on a vote of 9-1, and I so move.
Second.
Motion is made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 97 and refer to appropriations. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports and refers to appropriations 12-3. Chair Sewell.
The next bill is Senate Bill 299, patroned by Senator Srinivasan. Senator Srinivasan, I know you're here with us, and you have an additional amendment to the subcommittee substitute.
Senator Srinivasan, good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. DLS has prepared a line amendment.
Move the line amendment.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded on the line amendment without objection. Before we adopt it, if you could explain the line amendment for us.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The amendment adds an additional enactment class requiring that upon the reconstitution of the new college institute as the West Piedmont Higher Education Center, the board will develop a comprehensive sustainability and strategic plan. This plan must include a recruitment and expansion strategy and be developed in collaboration with the regional partners, including Go Virginia Region 3, the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research, Patrick and Henry Community College, local school boards, and major employers. The board is required to review options for achieving these goals and report its finding, Mr. Chairman, to the governor and the chairs of the Senate Finance and House Appropriations Committee by August 1, 2027.
And this is at the request, Senator, of where does this come from? The amendment?
I think this was the result of working with the stakeholders.
Motion's been made and properly seconded on the amendment, the new amendment that is before us. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, the amendment is adopted. And Chair Sewell, a recommendation?
Okay, so I think I actually need to do this in reverse order. I think that we need to conform the legislation to Delegate LaVere Bowling's, as we did in the subcommittee, and then we'll take the second motion again to make the additional change that you just noted.
With your agreement, maybe what we'll do is actually have it all as one substitute.
Okay.
If that's okay. That way we'll just put it all together.
Yep.
So do I have a motion on adoption of the substitute, which conforms but then adds in the line amendment?
So moved.
So moved.
Without objection, we have the new substitute. And there was a recommendation on the substitute, Madam Chair?
I move that we report Senate Bill 299 with substitute.
Second.
Motion made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 299 with substitute. Members, please cast your vote. Bill reports with substitute 13-3. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members.
Thank you. Chair Sewell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The last bill for the Higher Ed Subcommittee docket is Senate Bill 494, patroned by Senator Deeds. This piece of legislation deals with the gubernatorial appointments of Board of Visitors to the respective institutions of higher education and make some additional changes as far as legal counsel is concerned. The subcommittee recommended reporting with substitute, conforming the bill to House Bill 1385 on a vote of 7-3, and I so move.
Second.
Motions on the substitute without objection. That is adopted. Motion's been made to report with substitute Senate Bill 494. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with substitute 11-5. Okay, thank you, Chair Sewell, for your work in your subcommittee this session. Before we get to the K-12 committee report, we have a senator in the room, so Senator Stanley. Welcome. We will hear from you.
Mr. Chair, move to lay the bill on the table. No.
There's a motion.
Mr. Chair, you should be receiving your monthly payment for taking him.
I know.
Mr. Chair, Delegate McQuinn, members of the committee.
So we have a new substitute that is before us, that I believe.
We do, Mr. Chair, after working with Delegate Simons on this. Delegate Simons is a STEM-C robotics mom, and so we've worked hard on this, and she came up with some language that I think that makes it fit. And so there's a substitute, and basically the substitute says the Department of Education, prior to the 20 was to create a STEM-C robotics scholarship program that would allow, especially those children that are in underserved, underprivileged areas, to start their robotics teams. The problem wasn't because robotics can be expensive. The problem is that then the funding would go away. So what we're trying to get to was to allow this fund to actually continue to fund those teams. So subsection 1 demonstrates in this that clarify within the provisions of 22.1385 that the purpose of the program is to grant for use in establishing supporting STEM-C competition teams, and that they can be awarded to new STEM-C competition teams or to support existing STEM-C competition teams. And priority must be given for those areas and those schools that have demonstrated financial need.
Thank you, Senator. Do I have a motion on the substitute?
So move second.
Motion made and probably seconded to adopt the substitute without objection. The substitute is adopted. And a motion to report the bill with substitute. Motion's been made and properly seconded to report the bill, Senate Bill 105 with substitute. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with substitute 17-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members of the committee.
Thank you. Continuing in that direction with our K-12 subcommittee report, we have Senate Bill 171 by Senator Frivola. There was a substitute, motion on the substitute. Motion made and proper second without objection. The substitute is adopted. Senate Bill 171 amends discharge plans for inpatient treatment for juveniles. The subcommittee recommended reporting with substitute 10-0. Do we have a motion on the substitute? So moved. Motion's been made and properly seconded. Members, please cast your vote on 171. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with substitute 17-0. Next, we have Senate Bill 190 by Senator Williams Graves. Move the substitute, conforming it to House Bill 178, Delegate Anthony's. Without objection, substitute's adopted. What this does is provide additional support programs and assess the impact of those additional support programs. Subcommittee recommended reporting 8-2, and I so move. Motion's been made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 190 with substitute. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with substitute 11-6. Senate Bill 220 from Senator Jones has, with the acquiescence of the senator, has a line amendment. I'm going to ask staff to report the line amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On line 25, after November 1st, strike 2026 and insert 2027.
Move the amendment. Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded on the amendment. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Now with the amendment, the bill no longer needs to be referred to appropriations, so we would want a motion to simply report as it reported out of subcommittee 9-1 with the amendment.
Report as amended.
Motion been made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 220 as amended. Members, please cast your votes. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with amendments 16-1. Next, we have Senate Bill 341, and there is a substitute. Motion has been made and properly seconded without objection. Substitute adopted. Senate Bill 341 ensures that in private schools that there are policies related to bullying and cyberbullying. The subcommittee recommended reporting 7-3. Do we have a motion to report? Motion made and properly seconded to report. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with substitute 11-6. For Senate Bill 394, the recommendation was to conform to House Bill 1186. Do I have a motion? Motion's been made and properly seconded without objection. The substitute is before us. This is now conformed to discuss AI policy and gathering data around AI policy. The subcommittee recommended reporting 9-1. Do we have a motion to report Senate Bill 394? Motion is made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 394 with substitute, conforming it to 1186. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports 16-1. Next, Senate Bill 491. 491 by Senator Pekarsky. We have substitute conforming it to HB 836. Do we have a motion? Motion has been made and properly seconded without objection. Substitute's adopted. Now with that, this ensures that the language is aligned with 836, ensuring that there is a right to free public education and there shall be no discrimination based upon immigration status. The subcommittee recommended reporting 7-3. Do we have a motion to report as substituted? Motion has been made and properly seconded to report as substituted Senate Bill 491 with substitute. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with substitute 11-6. 568 had a substitute conforming it to 1486. Do we have a motion on the substitute? Motion made and properly seconded to adopt the substitute without objection. The substitute's adopted. Now this modifies our addiction education with regards to screen time, incorporating that into the addiction health education. The subcommittee recommended reporting 10-0. Do you have a motion to report the substitute? Motion made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 568. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with substitute 17-0. Lastly, Senate Bill 817 was recommended reporting, which requires each school board develop and implement policies to ensure that parents have certain notification about class registration. The subcommittee recommended reporting 10-0. Have a motion to report? Motion's been made. Motion's been made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 817. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports 18-0. Next, we'll turn to bills without subcommittee hearings. We have one bill, Senate Bill 20 by Senator Locke, and talking with the senator, as this was included in one section of the budget, but is being negotiated in another section of the budget. We are going to add a reenactment clause onto this to see if it's included in the final budget. Do I have a motion to add a reenactment clause? Motion made and properly seconded to add the amendment to Senate Bill 20, which is a reenactment clause. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the motion carries. So Senate Bill 20, which is similar to House Bill 254, which this committee reported and sent to appropriations, makes some modifications and significant changes to the child care subsidy program. Do we have a motion to report as amended? And it would just be a straight report.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 20 as amended. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with amendment 15-3. Even though in the resource sub, they were just killing a lot of similar bills, but we'll leave that up to the Senate. That's drama for later, I guess. All right. We are waiting on a couple patrons, but we do have a few more identical bills. So Senate Bill 122 by Senator McPike is similar to 1301. Do we have a motion to conform Senate Bill 122?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to conform without objection. The substitute's before us. Do we have a motion to report as substituted Senate Bill 122 with substitute? Members, please cast your vote to report Senate Bill 122 with substitute. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with substitute 17-0. Next, we have Senate Bill 200. Senator Van Valkenburg is similar to House Bill 299. I believe we would like to conform this bill.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to conform House Bill 299. Was there any further technical amendments to this bill? No.
The technical amendment does conform.
Does conform. Okay. So Motion made and properly seconded. Without objection, the substitute is adopted and conforming. Do we have a motion to report Senate Bill 200?
Second.
Motion been made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 200 with substitute. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with substitute 12 to 6. Okay. All right, let's turn for a moment to Senate Bill 815, Senate Bill 815, which is identical to House Bill 1455 by Delegate McNamara. That bill reported unanimously from this committee. Do we have a motion on Senate Bill 815? We wouldn't need to conform. It's identical. We would just need to report. Motion's been made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 815. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports 18 to 0. Is 427 have a new substitute? Okay, so we have Senate Bill 427, which has a new conforming substitute, I think, to put in line the similar bill, House Bill 182, which we have since passed out of the General Assembly with the language. So we want to conform with some new language. This new language, I believe, in the substitute just simply has a local assessment piece to ensure that there's local assessment that is involved. Do we have a motion to conform, do we have a motion to conform to this new substitute? Motion's been made and properly seconded to conform to a new substitute that now would put it in the same posture as House Bill 182. Without objection, the new substitute is adopted. Do we have a motion to report as substituted Senate Bill 427?
Move to report as a substitute.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to report with substitute Senate Bill 427. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with substitute 13 to 6. All right. So, making a grand entrance, Senator Pekarsky, as she comes down the aisle, we will turn our attention to Senate Bill 108.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Didn't mean to be that dramatic this morning. Appreciate you accommodating me. So SB 108 should be very straightforward. It should have seemed very familiar to all of you because we passed this bill last year. This bill codified the Youngkin's executive order that there would be a bell-to-bell ban on phone usage in our schools in alignment with lots of mounting research that shows that really is in the best interests of our kids for many reasons. Bullying has gone down, mental health issues, et cetera, et cetera. And over the past year, what we have seen is that there's been just growing positive impact from that policy in our school systems. Many have implemented it with a fairly minimum, issues. Kids have gotten used to it. In fact, kids themselves in town halls that I have gone to have talked about how much this has helped them, even though they hated it when we first did it, but it has been a net positive. What we have seen, unfortunately, was while the intention of the executive order and our codification of this bell-to-bell restriction was to make sure that it's not being used during the day. Some school systems have decided to allow usage during parts of their day, and I've had many parents reach out to me as the original patron of the bill to say, this is not what we heard. This is not how we understood the point of this bill being, and I basically just strengthened a couple of words to make it absolutely clear that schools should not allow usage during the day. It's not prohibited to carry a phone. I mean, if your parents need to text you and at the end of the day you check to see what your parents needed to talk to you about, that's still allowable. But this is really, I wish I didn't have to use one of my bill slots for this, but I think if we pass laws in this legislature, I think we have an expectation that our school systems will follow them. So that's a bill.
So thank you, Senator Prakarsky. At your request, since this was not able to be heard in K-12, we brought it up, passed by for the day, brought it up in full so it can have a full and fair hearing here. Before we turn to the committee for questions and thoughts, we'll hear from members of the public. So those wishing to be heard in favor of the bill, please come forward.
Good morning, members of the committee. Emily Webb with Advantage Strategies, representing Alexandria City Public Schools and Norfolk Public Schools. We appreciate the senator working with us to tighten up this language a little bit, and this bill does support both policies of Alexandria City and Norfolk City, so we support the bill.
So actually, thank you for saying that, because I believe, did the senator want to offer the new substitute?
Oh, yes, we do have a substitute. Sorry, I thought it was accepted in the subcommittee.
I think
it was adopted.
So there was a recommendation, so we'll adopt the substitute, make sure we're talking the same thing. So
Yes.
There's a substitute that is before us that has been released online. All those, do we have a motion on substitute? Motion's been made and properly seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, substitute is before us. So now you're speaking to the substituted language.
Correct.
Would you like to tell us what the substituted language did?
Sure. Do you want to do it? It's your bill.
Sure. Yeah. There was some confusion originally when we drafted this, that folks were worried that it would be interpreted to mean that there was a prohibition on just having a cell phone on campus. So we just tightened up that language to really make it clear the prohibition is on the usage of cell phones during the day, not having it with you. That is not the intention of myself.
So to be clear of the intention, so we're all on the same page, what this would say is a student can have a cell phone on campus, but is not able to utilize it from bell to bell. Okay.
Yes, that's correct. And that is the current policy of both Alexandria City and Norfolk City schools. So we appreciate her working with us to make sure that we wouldn't have to prohibit outright possession from bell to bell.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, members of the committee. Chad Stewart with the Virginia Education Association. Our members have been frontline for battling cell phones in classrooms for decades now. And we have only received positive feedback over the past couple years based on the changes and the additional layers of support they've been getting from their schools, from the division in terms of strengthened policies. We see strengthening state policy as only one more layer in that battle to make sure kids are focused and able to thrive in schools. So we support the bill.
Thank you. Is there anyone to speak in opposition to the bill? Turning online, I believe we have a couple of people online to speak, 30 seconds each, very quickly, please. Thank you. Good morning. We'll turn to Ms. Marin. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Melanie Merritt on the Fairfax County School Board, serving my second term. We first directed division-wide phones away in 2022. We've heard consistently from students, families, staff, and researchers that this is what's best for kids. We believe that setting and enforcing a consistent expectation about cell phones is critical. We know how to do this. Staff and students reported more interpersonal connections when phones were away, even more laughter in our schools. So our approach to discipline is also centered on learning. So when students do make the poor choice of having their cell phones away, we are educating them. So I want to emphasize across the 200 principals in FCPS, the resounding agreement is that phones being away for the entire day is what is best for students and children. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McAvoy?
Good morning, Chairman Russell. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Please support SB 108. I'm a parent, healthcare professional, and co-founder of a nonprofit that advocates for the health and wellness of children. Smartphones and other technological tools are built using the concept of persuasive design, which utilize human psychology and brain physiology to maximize engagement and time on device. These goals are absolutely contrary to an optimal learning environment. That lunch period in school is a time to engage in the joy and challenge of face-to-face interaction with peers. It is not time to be distracted by a smartphone. Schools across the country who have instituted solid bell-to-bell phone-free school days report decreased disciplinary and mental health referrals, and the common refrain is that cafeterias are allowed again. Prohibiting access to phones during the entire school day frees a student from the manipulation of these products. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I think that is it for the public testimony around more laughter from kids. Do we have questions from the committee? First, Delegate Garrett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A question for the patron.
Sure.
Delegate Garrett.
So I'm just curious, I heard the patron talk about how it was our job to pass laws and enforce laws, and I'm just curious if there's a mechanism maybe to temporarily suspend the law, maybe make it easier to set the law aside, maybe and promise to bring it back later when it suits us. And I've got a follow-up question.
Is that question for the patron?
It is, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I guess I'm kind of confused as to.
I am too. Maybe we'll go to your next question,
Yeah.
Right.
Delegate.
But the students are allowed to have the phones with them, Mr. Chairman. So like if it doesn't suit to follow the law, they can just set it aside. Like if there's an emergency, they could call their parents or something like that, right? I mean, we want to have a mechanism that we can pass the law but not obey it when it's important, right? Like if there's an emergency, is that right?
Mr. Chair, what I would say is there's lots of mechanisms in a school to call parents and get in contact. If there are emergencies, schools are full of adults who are there to help. There are front offices and phones all over teachers' rooms where they can do what they need to do. And this bill is strictly focused on the well-being of children and their cell phone usage.
Right, Mr. Chairman.
Thank
speaking
you.
of the bill.
We've got some more people. We'll come back to the
Speaking
Delegate
of the bill,
Congress
Mr. Chair.
Fowler.
Mr. Chair.
We
Mr.
will
Chair.
come back to speaking to the bill. We'll go to questions. Delegate Converse Fowler.
Mr. Chair, I have a comment. It might have a question. Is that okay? Can I?
Delegate Converse Fowler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I think my concern is like within Virginia Beach schools, and I don't know if it's just at my daughter's school, but they do this thing called One Lunch. And it's really hard to enforce the cell phone policy during one lunch, so they've kind of had to restructure and have had difficulty with that. And so I know the intent is really the instructional time, but also there are times in the day where, there might need to be some give, which leads me to not just the enforcement and the potential and subjective enforcement that I've seen, but we know we need to teach them responsible use of devices in life because they're going to leave school and they're going to have to deal with that in college. So I guess I'm not sure if there's any question in there, but it's a comment that if the patron, Mr. Chair, wanted to respond to that.
Mr. Chair, thank you. I can speak to that. So, actually, I have evolved my own thinking around this because initially, when I was on the school board, we talked about instituting this policy, which I knew would be great, but I did not believe that we would be able to actually implement it and kids would follow it. And yes, you do see kids being kids. It's the nature of any and every behavioral intervention in our policies. But what we have seen, and I think the VEA got up and spoke to, is and the school board member from the largest school district in this Commonwealth, is when we implement this in schools, there is a shift of mentality Yes, it's a hard shift at the beginning, but kids come to expect it. And as I have said, the town halls that I have gone to and heard from children, they appreciate it. They appreciate that we have intervened. So I believe that we are teaching them how to be smart users of the technology, and during school, which is for learning and socializing and critical thinking, it is not proper use to get on your phone and play on Twitter. So I guess that would be, I understand your concerns, and I will say the feedback we have gotten has said that this has worked overwhelmingly, and it's been instituted in over 30 other states currently.
Thank you. Delegate Garrett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So speaking of the bill, it's just, I don't know. I mean, every locality that spoke on this bill said they support the bill because they already do it. And I think we should take something away from that. Additionally, and this is somewhat refreshing given the actions of this General Assembly this session, the patron said we just can't set this policy aside randomly, because we certainly seem to set some laws aside randomly, even go back in time to do it. So that's a refreshing change, but ultimately I'm reminded of the words of C.S. Lewis, who prodded us with the reality that man cannot be made good by law. I mean, there was a murder across the street last year in 5 different gun-free zones. None of them stopped it. So the one good thing to come out of this, and I'm going to vote for it, but I think it's redundant virtue signaling, is that we've gotten someone to say, hey, we shouldn't just randomly set aside laws when they don't suit us. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Delegate Bulova.
Mr. Chairman, I've heard from the school board chairs in the jurisdiction I represent that they like the current law, and I wondered if the patron would be open to some sort of amendment that did allow school boards to decide on their own if high school students could use their phones during the lunch period. So leave that up to the individual jurisdictions.
Would you be open to that amendment, Senator Pekarsky?
Mr. Chair, the reason this was brought is because parents from the very same school district we represent came to me very angered by the actions of the school district, who decided to ignore the intention of this General Assembly. I would say no, and I have heard and talked to a number of high school principals in that district that I used to represent who have said that bell-to-bell, day-long, away for lunch is what works best for kids. So it is the will of the committee to do what you all like, but I don't think it's the right thing to do. So I would kindly decline that offer.
Delegate?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move to report.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 108. With no further discussion, members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports with substitute 18-1. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and for your accommodation. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next, we have, is there anyone here on Senate Bill 91 that's in the crowd? There is a esteemed patron, Chairwoman Lucas, who is not me. Who is not you. So Senate Bill 91, if I can call the committee's attention, has, I think it's a pretty straightforward bill around renaming, and if you'd like to just briefly let us know what it does.
I'd be happy to, Mr. Chair. Annie Gibson with ODU. When we first merged with EDMS several years ago, we did not have a name, and so now we do. And so this bill inserts our name into the code.
All right, easy enough. Do we have a motion? Motion made and properly seconded to report. Delegate Askew.
Going to ask Ms. Gibson if this was the final name change.
Delegate Askew with a very important question.
Mr. Chair, Delegate Askew, yes.
You should have put a likely or something in that, but all right. No. Motion's been made and properly seconded to report Senate Bill 91. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill reports 19-0. So I think the final bill that we have is Senate Bill 592, which is on its way to appropriations, which makes a number of changes. Do we have a motion to refer to appropriations? Motion's been made and properly seconded to refer Senate Bill 92 to appropriations. Members, please cast your vote. Clerk shall close the roll. Bill refers to appropriations 18-1. Okay, at this moment, we do have a final meeting, which would be on Monday, but at the moment, we have completed our docket, and we think we may be done for the year. I first wanted to, Chairwoman Simons has a loved one who's in surgery, so she's with that loved one. She couldn't be with us, so I wanted to thank our Vice Chair, Chairwoman Simons, Chairwoman Converse Fowler, thank you so much for your chairmanship, and Chair Sewell, thank you so much for chairing our higher ed, so we appreciate their good work. We also want to give a round of applause to our amazing staff who's helped us for the best run committee in all of the General Assembly. Fight that out later on, but they've just helped to have one of the busiest committees just run very smoothly, and we really appreciate all of the good work. And for someone who just came on board, who is leaving to go to law school in a few minutes in Oxford, and for Ryan, who somehow comes up with brand new big old substitutes almost instantly. We appreciate all of your good work. To our committee staff, we really appreciate all the wonderful work that you do. So hopefully we will not have a meeting on Monday, but if something gets referred, we may have something last minute, so just stay tuned. But with that, as Delegate Cherry walks in, do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion's been made and properly seconded. Without objection, we stand adjourned.